What's good to the entire crypto fam? Make sure to say hello in the live chat. In today's show, we'll be discussing billionaire Peter Thiel rocking the financial world with his prediction that the price of Bitcoin will increase 100x to go over $4 million per coin. I'll also be sharing the latest technical analysis and FOMC updates shared today, as well as Bitcoin records a whopping 661% increase in the hash rate in the past 2 years. I'll be breaking down this latest data, as well as breaking news. BlackRock study reveals that the optimal Bitcoin allocation in a portfolio is 84.9%. Let that sink in. We'll also be discussing the trader who called the 2023 crypto rally has a gut feeling on Bitcoin's next big move. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as the latest from quant analyst PlanB, who says a full-blown Bitcoin bull market is underway and predicts that Bitcoin overtakes major asset classes. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And if you're new to the YouTube channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And welcome to y'all just joining us. This is pod number 1353. I'm your host, JV, and today is July 26, 2023. And guess what? The market is back in the green. Let's go. Checking out today's market watch, we can see Bitcoin pumping, trading at 29,400. We have Ether trading just under 1,900, with Solana, one of the top gainers, up 9%, trading back above 25 bucks. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits at 1.18 trillion. With 28 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with Bitcoin dominance at 48.3%, with the Ether dominance on the climb at 19.1%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, Compound leading the pack, up 15%, trading above 71 bucks, followed by Solana, up over 9%, trading above 25 bucks, and Synthetics up 5%, trading at $2.91. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, Comp also leading this up about 15%, Solana up 9%, and you have COS up 6.5%, and the majority of the alts back in the green. Let's go. And shout out to everyone out there in the live chat. Right now, you can see the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're rated a 51 neutral, yesterday a 50, last week a neutral, 50, and last month a 55 in greed. So there you have it. How many of you took advantage of the most recent dip, sub 30,000 Bitcoin? We still sub 30? Let me know. Put BTFD in the live chat or in the comment section right below this video. And now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and the latest updates with the FOMC meeting. And and again, massive shout out to everyone out there. Bitcoin shifted towards 30,000 on July 26th as the Fed delivered a fresh interest rate hike. And I think it went as expected. You can see the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart right here. Data from Cointelegraph and TradingView showed Bitcoin's price performance strengthening after the FOMC took rates 0.25% higher as anticipated. While still fairly quiet, Bitcoin was still yet to react to the press conference, but we just started pumping right before I hit the record button. So I guess you can say overall it's been bullish. And quoting them here, all market participants will listen to the subtle nuances of what is typically a carefully crafted post-announcement statement, and those words will move the markets as they tend to. Confirmation of a hike of 25 basis points still brought the benchmark interest rates to their highest level since 2001. And in a press release, the FOMC further hinted that should its roadmap towards 2% inflation become hindered, it would be prepared to take additional measures. Now, quoting them again, the committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and inflation at the rate of 2% over the longer run. In support of these goals, the committee decided to raise the target range for the federal funds rate from 5.25% to 5.5%, and it shared the following. The committee will continue to assess additional info and its implications for monetary policy and determining the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate to return inflation to 2% over time. Good luck with that one. The committee will take into account the cumulative tightening of monetary policy, the lags of which monetary policy affects economic activity and inflation, and economic financial developments. That was a mouthful. Now, looking at the CME Fed Watch tool, meanwhile, showed less certainty that the next FOMC meeting in September would yield a repeat. And discussing the implications, financial commentary resource, the Kobasi letter, noted that while every FOMC member had voted for the latest hike, this may not speak to the harmony over the policy over at the Fed. In a social media reaction, it argued that between every meeting, all Fed officials publicly disagree with each other. Interesting, right? Quoting them here. Is the Fed really as united as they make it seem? Great question. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments right down below. And do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to continue pumping off the back of this news? Let me know as we're marching back towards that $30,000 psychological level. And obviously we're heading towards the end of the month. I love for July to close above 30. I think that would be the critical line in the sand to continue with the bullish momentum in which we created thus far this year. But now let's discuss the latest, and that's everything regarding the Bitcoin hash rate. It's up over 600% in the past couple of years. So this data is actually quite insightful because, as they say, Bitcoin price follows the hash rate, right? The choppy market caused several headwinds for Bitcoin miners as the hash rate reaches new record highs. The rise comes ahead of the much anticipated halving event slated for next spring, roughly 9 months out, that's expected to catalyze the largest crypto assets price action. Recent data suggests Bitcoin's hash rate increased by nearly 661% in the last 2 years, according to CryptoQuant CEO. Such a feat demonstrates the network fundamentals are stronger than ever. That, my friend, is a fact. We know that the stronger the network gets, the more difficult it is for hackers or bad actors to ultimately attack it. And the more you attack it, ultimately the stronger Bitcoin becomes and the stronger the hash rate. Now, the hash rate can be referred to as the computational power used to mine the crypto. The upcoming halving event will slash the miner rewards in half, which we all know. The rising hash rate comes off the backdrop of the all-time high mining difficulty of the network, which currently stands at roughly 54 trillion. Now, the ordinals craze has a crucial role to play as well, which is the NFTs, as Bitcoin miners started deploying more and more mining machines, thereby boosting the network's computational power. And while the hash rate and mining difficulty hovering near records highs indicate miners are bullish on Bitcoin, and that has not stopped them from selling large volumes of Bitcoin at crypto exchanges at a profit, as per Bitfinex's latest study, which I covered a few episodes ago. Such a trend potentially showcases the new miner behavior. And meanwhile, JP Morgan, which is the largest bank in the United States, JP Morgan Chase, their analysts suggest the Bitcoin price as well as the transaction fees will need to rise significantly to compensate for the lower block reward following the upcoming halving event, especially the volatile electricity costs and increasing competition amongst miners that have shot up the costs of production. And finally, the multinational investment bank previously predicted Bitcoin could go up by another 75% this year if it gets embraced as a similar investment tool as gold. Can someone here in the live chat run the math? What is $30,000 times 75%? We know times 100% it would be 60,000. So I'm just going to throw a ballpark rough estimate out there that they're predicting roughly a $50,000 price action this year in 2023. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that analysis. And yeah, cheers to a higher hash rate, a higher difficulty, and a strong Bitcoin network overall. Now let's discuss breaking news on everyone's mind. BlackRock has said that the perfect ideal allocation for Bitcoin in a portfolio is 85%, 84.9. We can round up, right? Now, you run the math. Could you imagine if a $10 trillion asset manager actually followed what they're saying and invested 85% of their portfolio into Bitcoin? What would that mean? Well, considering that the current Bitcoin market cap is roughly $500 billion, just to round, make it even numbers, holy moly. I mean, 85% could take Bitcoin's market cap. I'm just throwing rough estimates out there, but potentially $5 trillion. And that's just only if BlackRock did that. What if all the major institutions, the Fidelities, etc., all did the same? You already know, fam, reaching new levels we have never seen, and many of you aren't even anticipating. So let's discuss this. This is a pretty big story. In a groundbreaking asset allocation study, we have BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, suggesting a game-changing Bitcoin revolution for investors seeking to maximize their returns. Let's go. The study, which tracks Bitcoin and a standalone investment asset could be nothing short of transformative. You can say that again. And while the study was written last year, it has gained new profound popularity across Twitter. So here we go. The study conducted in April of last year analyzed the performance of Bitcoin as an asset from July 2010 to December of 2021 on a monthly basis. BlackRock's findings indicate that for a 60-40 portfolio, which means 60% equities and 40% bonds with a fixed risk aversion of Y equals 1.5, the optimal allocation to Bitcoin is an astounding 84.9%, and the remaining 15.1% is suggested to be split between equities and bonds with a 60-40 ratio. Now, I love that personally because I'm like practically 99.9% Bitcoin, but that's just me. Let me know if you agree with their Bitcoin allocation strategy. Now, commenting on the study, we had Joe Burnett from Blockware who remarked, "Great chart published by BlackRock. Investors with long-time horizons should hold overweight equity portfolios. However, now that Bitcoin exists as a superior form of money and savings technology, investors should consider an optimal Bitcoin allocation of 80 to 100%. I agree with that. Let me know your thoughts. Burnett's observations raise his eyebrows as he believes that all investors adopt BlackRock's recommendation of their Bitcoin allocation. The value of Bitcoin can soar to extraordinary heights. Obviously, he suggests if total global wealth is $800 trillion as of today, Bitcoin would be $190 million per coin. Can I repeat that? Bitcoin would be $190 million per coin. Send it and let's freaking go. This potential surge in Bitcoin's value would make it worth more than 5 times the total combined value of equities, real estate, and bonds. Take that, Peter Shifty. Now, the implications of such a move by investors would be far-reaching, as it could significantly impact the overall financial landscape, obviously. However, the idea of Bitcoin as a must-have asset in every portfolio is gaining traction, as it should. Several banks have come out with a Bitcoin price prediction of above 120,000 over the past few weeks, which includes Standard Chartered, which the primary shareholder of Standard Chartered Bank, who made that 120,000 plus price prediction for the King crypto, the primary shareholder is BlackRock. Let that sink in once again. Notably, BlackRock's report acknowledges the extreme volatility of Bitcoin, but as Michael Saylor describes that's nothing more than life force, and we know the force is strong with BTC, but also highlights its pronounced positive skewness, which makes large allocations of the digital asset highly appealing and potentially dominating in utility functions. That's right. The study is also interested in saying it could shed light on how heavily BlackRock could promote Bitcoin after the spot ETF is potentially approved by the SEC. So no clarity, Gary. Get on it. Here's an important to remember the story of the first gold ETF, which could repeat itself for Bitcoin. The gold price rose 5-fold after the first ETF back in 2004. A weighty reason for this was the global presence of BlackRock's financial advisors, who promoted a 5% gold allocation in each portfolio as a must-have. Now, what if the spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved by the SEC and they recommended 85% allocation? You already know. Now, speaking of ETFs, the countdown for the first spot Bitcoin ETF approval is approaching fast. BlackRock filed for its spot ETF in mid-June, with the first deadline for the SEC response set for September 2nd. While the SEC has not yet approved the spot ETF, many analysts believe the BlackRock stands a strong chance at being first. That's right, because of the track record is something like 575 to 1, so the SEC rarely tells BlackRock no. Now, however, ARK and 21 shares Bitcoin ETF are first in line, according to ARK Investors' Kathy Wood. After the refiling passed the first deadline, the second one is due on August 13th. Moreover, Bitwise's first deadline ends one day before BlackRock on September 1st. Interesting. So talk about the domino effect. Let's go, as the Bitcoin game theory continues in full effect. And they also point out here, ARK could be delayed again by the SEC until after the ruling of the Grayscale case with a 70% win ratio. Let me know if you agree or disagree with these thoughts. And overall, what do you think about BlackRock's allocation strategy for a portfolio being 85% recommended? Do you agree with that? Give me a big fat thumbs up in the live chat or in the main comment section right down below. And massive shout out to everyone out here in the live chat. At the end of the show, I'll be reading everyone's comments out loud, so please be as active as possible as the Bitcoin price continues to pump. And who knows, maybe we can get a 30,000 price action before the end of today's show. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Now let's discuss the next big move for the King crypto, shall we? According to this analyst, we're talking about Don Alt. He tells us 500,000 Twitter followers. He believes the crypto market markets are ripe for a sell-off event. And looking at Bitcoin's chart, Don Alt says the Bitcoin is flashing signs of bearishness after moving below its immediate support of 29.9, quoting him here alongside this chart. Now the technicals are bearish, still have the same gut feeling. It is what it is. We are simply ignore the market until vibes improve. And earlier in the month, he said that it's lights out for Bitcoin if it loses the key psychological level of 30,000, which has since manifested. And according to Don Alt, a sustained move below 30,000 would send Bitcoin to as low as $20,000. Now, in my humble prediction, my 2 Satoshis, I think it is not that probable that we go back down to 20,000 or sub 20,000. I'd throw a 20 to 30% probability at most. I think we're most likely to continue to go up, but that's just me. Let me know your 2 Satoshis in the live chat. Now, with Bitcoin now trading below that key level, but barely, the crypto strategist says that Bitcoin has until the end of the week to reclaim 30,000. That would be right in time for the closing of July, right? The lights are flickering all around me. Are they going out? We shall see next Sunday. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the warning from the crypto analyst. Now for the latest from PlanB, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, and his analysis, and then we'll dive into the greatest and latest from Peter Thiel, the PayPal co-founder and billionaire, tech mogul, and then we'll dive into our live Q&A. So yeah, here's what PlanB has to say regarding the market. Closely followed quant analyst PlanB says Bitcoin is now on its way to expanding by trillions of dollars to compete with some of the biggest asset classes. Bring it. The synonymous analyst tells his almost 2 million Twitter followers that Bitcoin is now in the early stages of a bull market that may allow large players like BlackRock to accumulate Bitcoin while it's low. That's right. Quoting him here alongside this chart, is in stage 1 early bull market, which you can see in the blue. And of course, BlackRock wants to buy cheap just before the ETF approval. Makes sense. And just before stage 2, full-blown bull market. Let's go. PlanB popularized the use of the stock to flow, which aims to measure the newly created supply of an asset that is being created over time relative to its existing supply, basically supply and demand. And after Bitcoin's next halving, which cuts the newly created Bitcoin issued to miners in half, PlanB says stock to flow will suggest that Bitcoin will ultimately become more scarce than real estate and extremely undervalued compared to other commodities like gold, silver, and diamonds. Quoting him here, Bitcoin stock to flow 5.8 market value 400 billion is extremely undervalued compared to gold, which has a stock to flow 60 and market value of 10 trillion, and in comparison to diamonds with a stock to flow of a 40 with a market value of 1 trillion, and compared to silver with a stock to flow of 30 and a market value of 500 billion. How will the markets react after the 2024 halving when Bitcoin stock to flow goes to 110, greater than real estate? So there you have it. Let me know how you think this will likely, what will likely happen to the price action as a result. And in a new strategy session, he says he envisions Bitcoin surging to about 50,000 as Bitcoin approaches its next halving event. I think that's a very realistic target here personally, quoting him. The big question is, what will the price be at the 2024 April halving? We can try and estimate that from only this 200-week moving average. The 200-week moving average increased currently at about $500 a month. So 9 times 500 will be 4,500. And Bitcoin's 200-week moving average right now is as little under 28,000. So 28,000 plus 4,000 as well, 32,000. 200-week moving average at the halving, approximately. And Bitcoin would be above that, right? And usually it would be like 50% above that, which would indicate a range of Bitcoin at the halving between $40,000 and $50,000. So there you have it, coming directly from PlanB, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model. Let me know if you agree or disagree that we're likely to see a $40,000 to $50,000 Bitcoin price action within the next 9 months around the time of the halving in 2024, scheduled to be roughly in April. We'll see how that plays out. And now for the moment you have all been waiting for, and that's the latest from Peter Thiel. I think it was back in 2022. He was the keynote speaker at the Bitcoin Miami conference, the biggest conference there is, and he made a very, very bullish prediction. At this time, Bitcoin was trading just above 40,000, and he says he personally believes Bitcoin is likely to rise 100x in value, ultimately predicting a $4 million plus Bitcoin price. And I also respect him a lot because of some of the things he shared and calling out some of the forces of evil, in which much respect. So let's break this down, then we'll dive into our live Q&A. So yeah, here we go. Bitcoin, we know the world's largest Crypto by market cap is poised for astounding gains in the next few years should Peter Thiel's latest prediction pan out. And that's correct. He made this prediction at the Bitcoin 2022 summit in Miami. And he also called out and mocked Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Larry Fink, and Jamie Dimon. Absolutely the forces of evil right there. Larry Fink being the BlackRock CEO, Jamie Dimon being the CEO of JP Morgan Chase. And we all know Warren Buffett and his infamous prediction saying, oh, Bitcoin is rat poison square. And we all know Bill Gates does no good for this world, just stating the obvious. And if you want to watch it directly coming from his mouth, I'll include this in the show notes below the video in the description. It's a great speech, definitely one of my favorite keynote takeaways from this event. And he also goes on to share regarding the ESG FUD. ESG is just a hate factory. It's a factory for naming enemies, and we should not be allowing them to do that. When you think ESG, you should be thinking the Chinese Communist Party. And that's why I say much respect to Peter Thiel. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But nonetheless, as we noted, let's not talk about energy because we know all that is FUD. So let's get to here, turning his verbal gun towards Warren Buffett, who was famously termed Bitcoin rat poison squared. Thiel rallied against the sociopathic grandpa. That's hilarious. While also disparaging the finance gerontocracy. I can't even pronounce this term, but yeah, as encapsulated by Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Larry Fink, and Jamie Dimon. Now, in what was arguably the centerpiece of his address, Thiel noted the Bitcoin was deliberately being undervalued as it is the most honest market in the world, thereby serving as the proverbial canary in the gold mine. Quoting him here, Bitcoin is the canary in the coal mine. It was telling us that inflation is coming. That's right. It is telling us that central banks are bankrupt. That's right. It's telling us that we are at the end of the fiat money regime. You're damn straight. Thiel then observed that Bitcoin's true competitor was not Ethereum, but global equities. He correctly noted that one of the primary factors behind the bull market of the past 40 years was the historically low inflation in the post-Volcker era. However, now that inflation has returned, Bitcoin should outperform equities. You're damn right. We repeatedly highlighted Bitcoin's soaring correlation with the U.S. equities. In fact, currently around 48% of the moves in Bitcoin are accounted for by the corresponding moves in the benchmark S&P 500. And back in January of last year, this correlation stood at roughly 60%. Nonetheless, if Thiel's predictions pan out, Bitcoin will likely exit this troubling correlation regime of the near future, setting the stage for outsized gains. In fact, Thiel believes that there should be a parity between the market cap of global equities and that of the king crypto, BTC. And for reference, global equities currently has a market cap of roughly 115 trillion, while the metric for Bitcoin is hovering at that time he made the prediction of 807 billion, probably more accurately close to 600 billion at today's market cap. You could confirm that, please, in the live chat. But quoting him here, I am still hopeful that Bitcoin goes up by a factor of 100x. Now, we all know 100x from 30,000 price action is roughly 3 million per coin. But again, at the time he made this prediction, Bitcoin was hovering just above 40,000. So 100x from 40,000 would put Bitcoin in the ballpark of $4 million per coin. If you think this prediction will turn true or not, let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And now let's dive into today's live Q&A. Shout out to everyone out there. Ellen, it is good to see you. Merc30, Bring Facts, Bitcoin Maximus, Mikey Likes It, Petrolhead 2020, Digital Dankness, Evan Rivera, Pura Vida fam, always a pleasure. Coin Father in the building, Soulful PGK, welcome. Oh, welcome. Yeah, Huddle Mike, what's good? Good to see you. Mikey Likes It. Coin Father, Abel Gonzalez, Dankness, always a pleasure. Boomer Futurist, Bring Facts, what's good? Will Stop Son, what's good? Merc30, Boz Dragon, welcome. Good to see the fam. Savvy Bitcoiner, what's new? Good to see you. Yeah, so we have lots and lots of comments, which I love. I'll start reading these out loud. Robert Brady says, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell just raised rates 0.25%, and Bitcoin is reacting. He is also hinting the same rates in September and is prepared to raise further until November. Well, let them continue to raise because Bitcoin will continue to do its thing, and it's good to see Bitcoin pumping as a result of that news. I think it's what many of us anticipated to begin with. Will, what is popping? Good to see you, fam. Will says, Bitcoin, let's go. BlackRock basically says 85% allocation is what they needs. You already know. And I hope everyone follows their recommendation. I think everyone here has already allocated at least 85% of Bitcoin in your portfolio, but it will be good to see if the institutions follow those wise words. That would be a game changer naturally. Nobody here has given up their Bitcoin for BlackRock. That's because we're smart. We're the smart cookies. We know better. HODL be thy name. But for those who don't know any better, they absolutely will sell their Bitcoin and give it to BlackRock. It just is what it is. Tommy Walton, I'm stacking sats. My man, JV, doesn't matter what happens, up, down, left, or right. Laying them in cold storage like a boss, spoken like a true Bitcoin OG. Much love and respect to Tommy Walton. Appreciate you tuning in, supporting the show. Ellen, appreciate you too. She says, I always will support JV. Always. Thank you so much. I know you've been tuning in for years, and it means the world to me. So thank you. I'm coming to that big party in a couple of years when we're sitting fat on that bull, says Tommy Walton. And I said, hopefully the party is a lot sooner than we expect, and it happens by 2024. Wouldn't that be something? Let's do that party sooner than later, and we'll have multiple other parties. Why not? I am with you on that, bro. Working on number 3 every week. DCA, dollar cost average. You're speaking my language, fam. Music to my ears. They say this 2025 is a super cycle. I think so. I think it's destiny. We shall soon see. It's right around the corner, for Christ's sake. Barry was good from Holland. Here we go again, waiting for the best show on YouTube. Greatly appreciate that, Barry. One love. Much respect. Well, what's good, Crypto News Alert stackers? Coin Father, how you been, fam? Appreciate your support each and every day as always, and love what you're doing in the community. Rate hike was expected, and I am factoring this once more this year. Yeah, probably so. What's up, fam? Chris Minka, what's poppin'? This is pod number 1353. Could you believe it? That's right. How's everyone doing today? Good to see Maximus doing fantastic. As I say, every day above ground is a beautiful day. No complaints. LFC Liverpool Film Club, Tony Jeffries in the building. Thank you, JV. Looking forward to the show each and every time. Much love, much respect. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support each and every day. Much love. Excellent news, Coin Father. Praise to him. Hey, JV, 55.9 thousand subs. Let's go to 56 by the end of the week. Let's do it by the end of the day. I only need like 40 more subs. That should be easy. That means if everyone watching this episode just subscribes, boom, target complete, and then we'll go towards 100,000 subs. Why not? It seems a couple of years back, my subs were correlated with the Bitcoin price, and we watched Bitcoin soar to new highs, and my subscribers were correlated, but then we had that black swan and things changed, but I think eventually we will be recorrelated, and maybe when I have 100,000 subs, we'll have $100,000 Bitcoin price action. Why not? We shall soon see. Appreciate that support, and of course, if you're new to the channel, it's free to do so. If you want to support me and show your love and help support Bitcoin and this incredible community, just smash the like, make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. If for some reason YouTube is doing you dirty and you're not receiving the daily notifications, even though you have them turned on, they're not emailing you and doing what they're supposed to be doing, then turn off notifications and turn it back on and tell me if that fixes the problem, because I've had a lot of complaints of people saying they're just not being notified each and every day when I go live, and that tends to happen from time to time. It is what it is. Where's everyone from? We got Bitcoin Maximus representing Manchester, UK in the building. I'm originally from New York. My parents are from Brooklyn. I was born in Long Island. I grew up some years in California, eventually moved to Florida. I spent years in Costa Rica. I've lived in Medellin, Colombia. I've been all over the world, and now I'm in Puerto Rico. I relocated here in 2018 after the bull market of 2016, 2017. I said I needed to do something. Soulful says he is from London town. Shout out to London. Haven't been there in a few years. And that's a good question, by the way. Represent where you're from. Coin Fathers, 3 p.m. here in the Midwest of the United States. I'm prepping to get off to work. Do what it do. I appreciate you tuning in, supporting the channel as you do each and every day. Chester Gregory, good afternoon, JV. Thanks so much again for the absolutely wonderful presentations, jam-packed with a wealth of knowledge and news. I greatly appreciate it. I'm sure the rest of the Crypto News Alerts fam. Yes, mouthful there. Appreciate that, Chester Gregory. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you interacting with our incredible community. It means a lot. Corey says, Bankman, Altman, trust no man. That's right. Don't trust anyone with the last name Bankman or Altman. 100% agree with you on that. And you must be referencing WorldCoin. Do not scan your iris. Please don't do that. Will says, hey, yo, what's good? Will, yeah, I looked up time in Japan because my wife and boys are there visiting. Oh, that's what's up. 5 a.m. in Japan right now. I can't wait to visit. I've never been to Japan. I lived in China back 2010, 2011. I was teaching English in China, believe it or not, for 13 months. What an experience I had. Work was busy in the meetings. Stopped by the Cafe Bitcoin Twitter Spaces. That's what's up. Today to talk as well. I see you're doing your thing, Coin Father. Love to hear it. Boomer Futurist. Hola, JV. Hola, Boomer. Great. Thanks. Word up. Baz. Appreciate you tuning in always. Much love. Fed meeting was weird as, I mean, isn't it always? Isn't the Fed weird in of itself? Satwise says 85% BlackRock Bitcoin allocation recommendation is the most bullish news ever heard from those who have a clue. 100% with you on that. To be bearish at a time like this and to be anticipating a sub 20,000 Bitcoin, I think is a little loony, but that's just my 2 Satoshis. I think things couldn't be more bullish right now, and I feel we're likely to continue to climb up. I'd love to see PlanB's personal target of 50,000 come into fruition sooner than later, so that at the time of the Bitcoin halving, we can just reach, new all-time highs and levels that would blow the mind, rip the faces off the bears. That's what I'm going to say. Rip the freaking faces off of these bears. BTFD always 100%. Bring facts, BEPFD. And remind me what it stands for, BEFD. Say it a little different. Artcoin says, bro, every day you post outrageous Bitcoin predictions. I'm a Bitcoin bull, but come on, man, it's too much. If you think so, I don't think it's too much, me personally. BTFD, Matt, word up, but I appreciate you sharing your feedback. I respect it. Artcoin JV is the only one reporting on what's being said. Hey, some call it hopium, others say it is prophecy. Depends on how patient you are. Facts. Coming from facts. I like that. Artcoin JV gives daily crypto news reports. If you don't like it, complain to the source it came from. There you go. Hit up Peter Thiel and say, yo, I don't like your prediction. Change it. See what he says. Probably won't be as nice as I am, but hey, is what it is. Finally made it to the live. Greetings. Shout out to Evan Rivero, Pura Vida fam. If Larry Fink changed his mind about Bitcoin, what's stopping you? Great point. The same with Michael Saylor. One point, Michael Saylor didn't think it would be a thing, but he changed his mind. Smart man. He happens to be a rocket scientist, for Christ's sake. I heard a lot of double talk and jive today, JV plus fam. I mean, what else is new? No, first Bitcoin will dump and destroy the alts, says Warkus. Word up. Nate says whether Bitcoin pumps or dumps, keep buying it if you believe in it. 100%. Exactly. If you're in it for the long haul, you wouldn't stop stacking sats. You realize there is a finite limited supply. It's decentralized. You know that there are halvings. The block rewards get cut in half, the rewards for the miners. So it's only going to make it and then there's millions of Bitcoin lost and gone forever or stagnant and have never moved in over a decade. So there is a very finite limited supply with mass demand continuing, and you ain't seen nothing yet. Mark my words right there, fam. DCA all the way, Merc 30, 100%. Insert King John III in Evitabear. Will I miss most of the show? I will have to listen to tonight. It's all good. You got to do what you got to do. You can always come back and watch it anytime. That's the beauty of YouTube. You know what I mean? And now we're 29,500. You can see the Bitcoin price still pumping. Let's go to 30,000. Bring it. 52,500 says Nate. Bring it. Satwise says 51.5 at 75%. Thank you. So 50 was a good ballpark figure I threw out of the top of my head there. Bart DeBellis, thank you for the confirmation. 52.5. We'll send it. Let's go. Bring facts. That's right. 29,420. No longer. We're 29.5, but 420. I'll smoke to that. I do not trust BlackRock. Good. You shouldn't. Trust nobody, verify everything. Or Larry Fink. Good. You shouldn't. Trust nobody, verify everything. CMG 52.5, that's accurate. Thank you for sharing. JV, what's good? What's good, MK? Good to see you. Skull Cruncher, what up? You got to give it to that 100% Bitcoin. Bring it. Fink loves it. You know he's loving it. He's loving it. And we especially loving it because we all front ran Larry Fink and BlackRock. How cool is that? So true. And I mean, how many opportunities do you get to front run Wall Street? You know what I mean? Official 2 Bitcoin. Congratulations, Abel Gonzalez. Keep stacking them stats. One stat equals $1 at $100 million Bitcoin price action. Word up. And I believe it's 1 Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million Satoshis. So accumulate 100 million Satoshis and bam, 1 Bitcoin you will have, which will always be equivalent to 1 Bitcoin. And no amount of the dollar being hyperinflated could affect that whatsoever. You know what I mean? There's 2 videos he did in the past few days. It's a good little breakdown on individual topics. Word up. 2 is better than 1. Nice. 100%. If Larry Fink changed his mind about Bitcoin, what's stopping you? Word up, Savvy. I agree. I don't believe anything he says now. I am going to buy what he said last year. The Fink said that was up last year. Not if, JV, it's when it gets approved. That's right. We all know the BlackRock Spot ETF. It's destined to be approved. The big question is by when? Will it happen this year? I'm not so positive it will, but by next year, I am pretty positive it will. When I say positive, just leaning more towards in the probability of it being accepted. Obviously, anything could happen. You know what I mean? $1.90 a sat at 190 million. Word up, send it. I love that. Smash that like button, people. Greatly appreciate that. 1 million will do. 100%. 1 million, send it. Let's get it. Bitcoin conference in Puerto Rico 2024. Mikey likes it. That's what's up. It's good to see a lot of you are going to be here supporting the crypto fam. The Fink and SPF said that Bitcoin should be only for the rich. That's alarming. $1 gets me 3,293 sats. RN on Cash App. Word up, bring facts, pump it up, says Boomer. My AI said it will be $100 to $300 a day. I doubt it's accurate yet. Interesting. Thumbs up from Mikey. Thumbs up from Abel. Appreciate that. Ellen, what's that they are doing? Hence the price suppression. Hey, it is what it is. But the people bought in less than 30% adoption. Word up. Mikey, Ellen, I am rich. I just haven't seen the gains yet. That's hilarious. Oh, how much Bitcoin hit 31,000 before the silly 4 million talk? Word, bring it. Oh, what's good? A lot of gloom says predicting Bitcoin has to drop before it goes up. I am holding my nerve and stacking them stats. Keep stacking Soulful PGK. I think you're on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing. We don't want to miss, or we don't want massive gains. I need to stack more stats. That's right. If you've already feel confident in your bag, then you're just like, can we pump to the moon already? But if you're like Coin Father, it's like, yo, I ain't done packing my bags yet, so let's go on the low so I can keep stacking at a discount. Cheapest sats I got was when I started, only gotten less for more since. Started at 3,000. Well, congratulations, Facts. You're way ahead of the curve. Absolutely. Top roller. Let's freaking go. I know we have to wait for the bull run, but I am so impatient. Well, it requires patience in Bitcoin, right? This isn't get rich quick overnight. This is hodl for the long haul and change the life of your entire family as well as the future generations. That's what this is all about, is sovereignty, fam. The opposite of enslavement, which is what the central banking cartels want you enslaved, using Fed coin and CBDCs so they can control you and so that you could have no freedom, including no freedom of speech, no freedom of travel, and you can be locked down in control under the central banking cartels. If you don't like that and that doesn't sound good, then obviously what's the antidote? Bitcoin. There is no second best, quoting the great Michael Saylor. BlackRock wrote that prior to the last crash. That's right. They wrote that in 2022. Things that make you go, agree 100% with Crypto Bad Fox. I appreciate you tuning in. Sophisticated Fly Fishing. Yo, what up? Aaron Walters. Would you ever share your percentage allocation as in 40% profile into Bitcoin? Not sure if it's rude to ask. I don't think it's rude to ask. If I was to guess off the top of my head, I'd say I'm more than 99% Bitcoin. That's just a guess because I do have some bags of alts I bought years ago that I don't pay attention to and I forgot I bought, and I don't care if I lost them. But I am predominantly Bitcoin. That's a fact. I don't hold stocks and I don't hold much cash. So I'm like a true Bitcoiner, if that makes any sense. If you guys can relate, let me know. How's the garden? Ellen, that's right. Ellen's growing some greatness there. Is doing great. Digital dankness, lots of tomatoes. Love to hear that. All about health. Health comes first. What good is your wealth if you have no health? So protect your health. Invest in your health, your nutrition. Peace, Crypto News Alerts. I appreciate it, fam. Awesome. Thank you. You're very welcome. Aaron Walters. I heard something. I shared this like in a show last week. Raoul Pal, he said in a podcast, I think it was with Scott Melker on the Wolf of Wall Streets, that he was like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was like 70% Solana. And that shocked me. His faith in Solana shocked me, to say the least. I don't have that kind of faith in Solana. I only have that kind of faith in Bitcoin. I mean, to be more than 50% of your portfolio in a specific coin, you should have a lot of faith in it. And I could only have that kind of faith in a decentralized coin because if, yeah. But we're still pumping at least. We're at 29,600. Let's get to 30,000, shall we? Bring it. Anyways, fam, I got a lot to do today. So now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show, I broke down the latest technical analysis, including the FOMC hikes, which got raised, I believe, 0.25%. And as a result, the Bitcoin market is pumping. We also discussed Bitcoin reaching a whopping 661% increase in hash rate over the past couple of years. We also discussed big news of BlackRock, recommending ultimately allocating 85% of your Bitcoin in your portfolio, which means if you're not at least 85% Bitcoin right now, you're missing the boat. We also discussed the latest from a trader who called the 2023 crypto rally. He has a gut feeling on Bitcoin's next big move. We also discussed the latest regarding quant analyst PlanB, saying that the full-blown Bitcoin bull market is underway, predicting Bitcoin overtakes major asset classes and climbs towards $50,000 at the time of the next halving, roughly 9 months away. We also discussed Peter Thiel, the PayPal co-founder, and his prediction that the Bitcoin price will increase 100x to exceed $4 million per coin. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next?